Well, ladies and gentlemen, I told you all that MrBeast was not going to respond. I told you all that I was going to defeat MrBeast, and I did. I'm the only person in history to have ever defeated MrBeast. Last week in TGW, I got a chance to call out MrBeast. Did he ever reply? Absolutely not. Why? Because he knew for a fact that if he were to reply, he would have lost drastically against me. I'm the only person in the world to call out MrBeast and to beat MrBeast in a debate, because he never responded. Therefore, I win. I win. Adrian Matt, I rule. Let's take it to the Rocket League matchup. Well, actually, wait a second. Before we even get to the Rocket League matchup, I really am better than people like MrBeast and PewDiePie. PewDiePie himself, by the way, texted me a couple of months ago, and he told me, quote, Adrian Matt, how do I become like you? How can I become like you? Well, the answer to that question is you can't, because everybody else in the world is a loser except for me. I'm the only announcer. I am the only person on YouTube and the world that is above every single other person in this universe. Thank you. Thank you very much. So this is it. The build-up, the suspense, the anticipation ends tonight. You are looking live at a championship match. The champion JML versus HZ, the challenger. Something has to give here tonight. Who's going to be walking out of here as the champion? Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening right now on Rocket League. Hey everybody, welcome to Gameside. Adrian Matt at Gameside. I am so excited to call this action. It is going to be JML, the champion, up against the challenger HZ. Of course, this matchup has been talked about over the past week or so by our many TGW members, the esteemed TGW members who are going to be watching this incredible matchup that is transpiring here tonight. Let's not forget how this all came about. JML a couple of weeks ago defeated Texas Raider to become the Rocket League champion, the second time in his TGW tenure. However, conversely speaking, HZ, JML's opponent, became the official #1 contender by defeating Clan 2 a few weeks back, so the two are expected to clash tonight. And what a huge save by HZ, what a huge block. You know, one thing that I've been noticing over the past few weeks as well, oh wow, look at that, that was a close call. One thing that I've been noticing over the past couple of weeks is that HZ loves to play aggressively, but JML, on the other hand, loves to use his quickness, his speed. He's so athletic as well in the game. We have two superstars who perhaps are neck and neck in terms of skills. This is going to be a great one to determine the championship. And of course, this rivalry simmering and has reached to a boiling point here tonight to determine the champion. And again, the prestigious coveted titles on the line. We know how important the championship is because through the years, a handful of TGW superstars have claimed the title. And tonight, though, it's either going to be HZ or JML competing. One of the two are going to be walking out of here as the Rocket League champion. Of course, one thing that I do want to preface this by saying is that HZ has never been a champion in TGW. He would love to make sure he cements his legacy in this community by defeating one of the best of all time in this community, that is in JML. As you can see, HZ with the corkscrew now landing once again. There's JML assessing the situation. HZ back in control of the ball. This is going to be it. Is HZ going to score over the next few minutes? We're about to find out right now. The ball on the side of the blue net. And HZ off the barricade. The ball once again in free play. JML now in control. This could be the score. And JML does score. JML scores for the first time. JML scoring for the first time in this game. And ladies and gentlemen, now the anticipation begins to build. The suspense begins to build. But also the amount of pressure begins to build for HZ as JML just scored right there. The champion having life in him. But it's not over just yet with 2 minutes and 52 seconds and counting. Can somehow, someway HZ pull this here tonight? Can he dig down deep and actually pull a miraculous victory, a miracle perhaps, in defeating JML? You know, let's not forget JML at one point as well had an undefeated streak in the Gaming Weekly. In fact, the longest undefeated streak in TGW history on Rocket League. So JML does have a lot of experience, and that experience is really coming to play here tonight. Look at this off the top of the roof. There's HZ with the block. Once again, the ball going to the midfield, and now JML responds back here. You know, one thing that I've also noticed when it comes to these two, they have so much passion when it comes to a game like Rocket League. We saw that incredible victory that HZ had this past week. He was in a completely different zone, but I mentioned it on commentary. HZ is not going to have an easy cakewalk against JML. And JML perhaps has really been, well, practicing over the past couple of weeks. You know, JML could be a very serious contender, a very serious competitor. But let's not take away anything from HZ. As you can see now, HZ zoning in once again, wasting little time, in control of the ball, trying to save it, and now slashes the ball on the other side of the barricade. But you got to watch out because JML is going to indeed try to score, and HZ is going to be defending, and there we go. Great block yet again, with only a minute and 40 seconds though. Remember, the time is not in the favor for HZ, considering the fact that JML has 1 point right now. The champion thus far is actually winning this matchup. And look at this, JML's gonna score again. Can you believe it? An opening has been secured, and JML decided to capitalize on that opening. As we take a look at the replay, check that out. JML realized that HZ was not securing the net, and JML took advantage. Would score for a second time. The champion in complete control here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if you're just joining us here tonight, a part of the Gaming Weekly, this is the championship matchup, HZ up against JML. JML, of course, was champion last year in the Gaming Weekly. He lost the title at one point in time, regained the championship a few weeks ago in that championship tournament. HZ, on the other hand, became the #1 contender, defeating every single contender in that tournament. And now tonight, the two clash. But it looks like JML still having the number of HZ. But look at HZ, though, from the top. As you can see on your screen, a minute remaining. And HZ just scored now. HZ digging down deep inside. Can he actually do this? Can HZ somehow, some way defeat JML with 59 seconds right now? As HZ scored for the first time in his net. Well, I should say JML's net pressure. And it messes up their game plan. Speaking about game plan, there's got to be a lot of strategies implemented here tonight. For HZ and JML, they have to systematically try to pick apart their strategies, try to completely dissect their strategy, and try to combat their style. As HZ right now, look at this, yet again, but to not avail, as JML has the opening yet again. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the third one. 3 points from JML. The question remains, will HZ somehow, some way, perhaps score another point over the next couple of seconds? He's got to do it lightning quick, because look at the time from the top of your screen at 26 seconds in counting. Here we go. Matchup is underway. 2 men in the middle of the field. Here comes HZ back in control of the ball. And there's JML all going off course here. HZ's about to score, but no. Once again, JML with the block. The ball into the other side of the barricade. And you got to watch out. HZ quickly wasting little time. Of course, trying to save it. Uh-oh. There's 7 seconds left, gentlemen. 5 seconds here, and it's JML going to retain the championship. I believe it's indeed safe to say it. JML continue his championship reign by claiming yet another opponent here tonight in HZ, defeating the man tonight, JML, with that victory lap. Congratulations to the champion who continues his reign here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have more action coming up next in TGW. Of course, we will, get set for that up next, but congratulations to JML. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the champion JML. Moments ago, he did retain the title. But right now, we're going to be crowning a #1 contender for JML. The winner of this matchup will actually advance to face JML. And quickly already, right out of the gate, Seisha Pie is actually scoring. He already scored the first point of the matchup. Take a look at the replay. Feel this at home. Arithmetic shot scored right there. So here we go. Soldier, who's been battling and crawling over the past couple of weeks trying to make a name for himself in TGW, stated that he would love to make a name for himself. Stated that he's going to make sure this is going to be his time on Rock. Seisha Pie, which, by the way, this is the first time that Seisha Pie does make his TGW debut, but don't let the fact that this is his first appearance deceive you. I'm guessing he's a very good Rocky League player, that's for sure. As the Seisha Pie, look at that great block, but Soldier again wasting little time, making sure he's going to dictate the ball here. But with the fact that Seisha Pie was able to score in the first couple of seconds of the match, that may indeed come into play psychologically with Soldier. Soldier may perhaps be thinking to himself, oh my god, I already have 1 point against me already in this match. Can I somehow, some way block Seisha Pie? Well, nonetheless, though, ladies and gentlemen, since there is no commentator with me here tonight, I guess I'll be doing all of it. Color announcing, broadcast announcing, and as well as delivering the news. And Seisha Pie just scored for the second time. It looks like Seisha Pie is going to be his time to make a name for himself in TGW. Can you imagine if Seisha Pie in his first night does indeed actually become the #1 contender in his debut in TGW, ends up facing JML for the championship and ends up winning it as well on his first night? Nonetheless, moving forward, MrBeast, ladies and gentlemen, this past week I called out I called up MrBeast in the Gaming Weekly, and what a complete shock, MrBeast did not respond to me. MrBeast, despite the fact that he's known as a beast, is not even a beast. In fact, he has the opposite qualities of a beast. MrBeast is actually a scared little child who's sitting in the dark realizing that there is a guy in me that called him out. He knows for a fact that I'm the only person on this planet that can call him out, and that's the reason why MrBeast didn't respond back. MrBeast didn't respond back because he realized that there's one person that can end him. There is one person that can own him. There is only one person that can indeed destroy his entire channel, and that is me. And when I called him out, I was the only person to do it, and MrBeast, by the way, is scared of me. MrBeast lost to me, and I, of course, did indeed defeat MrBeast. I'm the only person on YouTube that decided to call out MrBeast, and I'm the only person in history that has beat MrBeast. I'm the only person in this world that has claimed to beat MrBeast, and I finally did it this past week as I called him out, and I never got a response because he knows if he did, he probably would have lost. He didn't want to embarrass himself, and he does understand that I would have embarrassed him anyway. So let's go back into the matchup. I don't want to talk about myself in this broadcast, but it's all the TGW fans and members and people like MrBeast who keep me from calling the action, who keep me from focusing in the game, who keep me from being an objective announcer and actually calling this matchup right down the middle. I blame everyone else except for me. I'm just doing my job as a broadcast journalist. So anyhow, 3 points already. Seisha Pie in complete control, really in the driver's seat into this matchup, ironically. And look at Soldier, was so close in trying to score, but you know, Soldier, I have some respect when it comes to Soldier. Soldier's not giving up. Soldier has been in a losing streak over the past couple of weeks. However, he's going to be here to try to make a name for himself, to try to prove to everybody that he has worthy in himself, that he is a contender to be taken seriously. But there's a lot to be said about Seisha Pie as well. Seisha Pie making his first appearance here tonight, really in the zone tonight, very flexible, and it seems to be versatile with his maneuvers. And I gotta tell you, if JML is gonna be defending the championship against Seisha Pie, JML might have a huge test against him, as he's gonna be facing the young man. Of course, the two battling here tonight inside the stadium on Rocket League, one of the most intense physical games. It's all about physics when it comes to a game like this on Rocket League. You have to calculate your maneuvers at every single second. Not just that, but also you have to really be precise. You have to angle your shots so accurately because one mess-up can indeed mess the entire systematical strategy that you may have. And look at that once again. We talked about it. We talked about the maneuvers. We talked about the precision, and we talked about the accuracy. And check it out. Once again, the Seisha Pie so accurate in his maneuver, and you saw how Soldier was trying to make sure he was going to block the ball out of the net, but it was still not to be. Seisha Pie out with 4 consecutive points here tonight, 1 minute and 36 seconds and counting, and Seisha Pie is looking to become the #1 contender to face JML, the champion, and he's about to make it 5. No, that was so close. Look at the 2 inside the net. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be absolutely incredible to see who's going to be seething for a chance, seething for an opportunity to rise up and be a champion in some capacity. And in this case, to become the champion on Rocket League, to take the title away from JML. Soldier back in control, but with just 30 seconds remaining, though, it is not looking good for Soldier. Seisha Pie could be back in control. Again, the ball on the other side of the barricade. You got to watch out. Midair, Kitty somehow, someway capitalized. And we talked about the accuracy. And it was a little bit, yeah, there we go. Wasn't as accurate there as Seisha Pie couldn't actually score for the 7th time. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to just call it early. Soldier did a very good job here tonight. But I tell you, Seisha Pie with perhaps one of the most dominant debuts in the history of the Gaming Weekly, sweeping off none other than Soldier. Congratulations to Seisha Pie, is the #1 contender to face JML for the championship down the road in the Gaming Weekly. We have a young man that joins for the first time, is indeed ready to clash against the champion, JML. Well, that's the conclusion of this matchup. And that's the conclusion of this broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gaming Weekly is about to shift to perhaps the greatest transition ever. I could be sitting here and I could probably sound like an idiot right now because if I don't get the channel, then everything that I've been saying over the past few weeks has been for nothing. But I can guarantee you this. If I take over the channel next week, the Gaming Weekly is going to change forever. The Gaming Weekly is going to be going to a completely new era. An era that we've never seen before. And I can guarantee you this, folks, mark my words, the Gaming Weekly is going to be entering in the Adrian Matt era, an era unlike any other. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week live in TGW.